Yes, this is Margaret Ann Windsor, my real name, and the name I have to use is Peggy Ann Dempsey. I'm married to Childers. And this is filming, so I'm going to try to put this up and bear with me. They gave me the wrong thing to hold the camera. I'm putting this up, I'm addressing this to Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, I think. She's been supposedly. I thought she would be interested in this very. I thought all of them would have been. This is my father, Edward the Eighth. This is my aunt, Georgia O'Keeffe, artist, and sister to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, who was married to my father, one and only, and they were still alive when I came to Roanoke in October the 20th of 86. This is my grandfather, George the Fifth, and this is Wallace Simpson and the double, one of them. Now then, it's been a whole lie takedown of my dad by the Illuminati, and I'm going to go to this because I have it here. And they kidnapped me. Lies and everything that are being told because they control your press. This was in April 84, and I want you to take note of this because I'm going to get in, or try to, if I have time on the video here left, after I'm fooling around with it, trying to get it in focus up here. This date is when Mr. Flint endorsed me. He says, I know who was responsible for his shooting by Larry McDonald that involved Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor. And down here he mentions Al Burroughs and Larry McDonald and who else down here? It's old now. I'm going to lose it if I don't get a new one made here. Anyway, people in Georgia, a few they're part of the Illuminati that helped shoot him. And I was doing the book. He was shot March the 8th, I believe, or 7th. I'll have to look back and see. March the 6th. Of 78 when I was doing the book, living at Moonraker in Marietta, and he was shot in Lawrenceville by a Magnum, and his insides were all over the sidewalk. So, I guess you put it together. Anyway, now then, this is where I was taken when I was kidnapped. My father was taken down illegally, never married Wallace Simpson. He was married to my mom, school teacher from Madison, Wisconsin. Here's the family. Here's a gussied up one here, I call it. And that was about 1943. I was brought there in 41. It was a pigsty. They didn't have cars. They don't show the house. They got 2 cars there. They had to go out and get the photographer. Somebody got it for them because this was staged. Here's George VI, Elizabeth's father. Mrs. Roosevelt, who was part of the United Nations, part of Woody Woodrow Wilson in Stanton up here, where Anastasia was killed in Charlottesville. Don't tell me it wasn't Anna. Yes, it was. This Roosevelt, President, FDR, and this is Elizabeth's mother sitting there, and she's a Rothschild. Supposedly, she was called the Queen Mom. Well, she's not. She's a thug. That's Roosevelt's mother, and they've had a ball. And this is George, the father of Elizabeth, who was illegal and sold his brother out and went along with the Illuminati. My father would not take orders from him. They took him down, and they had the power, obviously. And if you turn on your videos today, you're going to get the same crap, lies. My father would not follow the orders, specifically the treaties that were signed that allowed the United Nations to be formed, and it's sitting right up there in Rockefeller Plaza, Rockefeller headquarters. How blatant can they get? Even NBC will show it's over their door. And then the other day they went out filming during Christmas or something right behind them, and it's evidently a shopping center. I'm sure it's an elite one. Rockefeller all over it. Okay, this is me. And I'm going to show, this was 39, by the way, the year they were planning my kidnapping. I was kidnapping 41. This is part of the kidnappers here. I'm talking about Caroline Kennedy's father, JFK, and her grandfather was appointed ambassador by this man. He's a Jew, too. Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, Kennedys. He was appointed ambassador 36 when my father became king to do exactly what was happening. It took him down, and then unexpectedly I was born, and my father had made proper papers because he was forced out with character assassination, etc. He made legal papers, went through proper channels, that if he had an heir would be born, and I was born in 39. The minute I was born, I'm Victoria II, Queen of England, and I am legal. The rest of it is Elizabeth works for the Illuminati. So does most of my family, I understand. I can't believe some of them sold out. But they're way up at the top of the Illuminati with Henry Kissinger, and that's what I'm trying to get on here. He's Jewish, the whole thing. This is implantable biochips that was sent up. I was living on the mountain to have a place to be, and about 96, and this is called implantable biochips. Church sent up there, and this was published by a church publishing company, and it shows Timothy McVeigh, which I'd always written about mind control murders, like programming people to shoot Mr. Flint, George Wallace, etc. But anyway, he told that the military put a chip up his buttocks, and he was programmed to go out. He's dead. They put him to death and blow up the Murray Bill in Oklahoma City. Project Lucid. I'm just going to show you this. This is the backside. I wish I'd kept the whole book. I just couldn't carry it. Talking about Orwell, and it's talking about the end times. This is by Tex or James Mars. I'm sorry, they were related, and they both did books similar, and I don't know which one it is. One is dead. I think Tex Mars is the one, but they're talking about chips like I told about, putting chips in heart bypasses, and they put them in root canals, and they seal them in, and you don't even know it. So they talk about going to the cash electronic debit system, the biochip agency, the beast, all the people I was talking about and did not know it ended up here. So Obama is all a part of it, him and Mrs. Obama. I wonder if they're grooming her to be president. I wouldn't put it past them. This is the crook. Maybe Japan would like to remember and know just what took them down. This sorry sots right here that are part of, maybe he wasn't born then, but he sure knows about it, and her father helped do it, and what was done to me and my father in Great Britain, and Americans, they just don't know all of it and probably don't want to, I'm told by some of them. Some of them are good. Now then, I'm going to sit down and try to put this up. And I don't, this is the picture, well, I showed that. That's a picture of me in high school. Now, if I can get this up and say a few things without it being a catastrophe, this is the wrong thing. I have to put it on to turn it and then get it off. Oh, it's not going to work. It's always something. Always. It's not that I don't know how to work.